What you see over here is a very special badge for TVS. Ever since its debut, the Ntorq 125 revolutionized the 125cc scooter market and has been dominating proceedings in this segment. But there was one big problem: evolution. You see, while TVS added a bunch of features and gave it a bit of refresh over the past few years, in essence, the Ntorq 125 remained unchanged, which means that if you were an Ntorq 125 owner and wanted to upgrade, your option was simple: say bye-bye brand TVS. But this was a big problem for the company as it wanted to hold on to its customer, and we had been waiting for a very long time for an Ntorq 125 upgrade. And finally, we have got the new Ntorq 150. Looks sharper, gets a larger displacement engine compared to the Ntorq 125, but there is no liquid cooling and the same 12-inch wheels. So has TVS taken a step back with the Ntorq 150 or not? Let's find out in this road test video. I know a lot of you viewers adore the styling of the new Ntorq 150, but we are going to start this video with performance, and for that I have to do a bit of number crunching. First up, power 13 bhp, torque 13.5 Newton meters. The Aerox produces 14.7 bhp, 13.9 Newton meter. The Zoom 160 14.6 bhp, 14 Newton meter. Both the scooters gets liquid cooling, this gets air cooling. So in terms of numbers, the Ntorq 150 falls short. But you know what? Numbers never tell you the reality. If that was the case, a CA would be hosting this video and not me. So let's ride and find out how's the performance of the new Ntorq 150. See, I told you, 0 to 60 kph in just 6.3 seconds. The Ntorq 150 is the quickest accelerating scooter in its segment. Yes, in terms of power, it is low, but also it is low on weight, which gives it a great power to weight ratio, and because of which you have this snappy, peppy acceleration, which makes the Ntorq 150 so much fun to ride in city traffic. And yes, those traffic like drag races would be very fun on the Ntorq 150. There are also two riding modes. One is the street, the other is the race. In the race mode, you get a boost of power which helps you in terms of overtaking. So yeah, in terms of acceleration, it is fun, but it would be criminal to just focus on the acceleration of the scooter, because there are other two aspects which really impress me. First is the way the scooter does those high speeds. Speeds around 85 to 95 kph is absolutely effortless. When I was testing this scooter, I had to check the console and cut down my momentum, because the way this scooter kind of masks those speeds is incredible. The second aspect is the refinement. Even at speeds around 100 kph, there is no vibrations on this scooter. So the engine feels very unstressed, even though it has got a bump up in terms of displacement. It is an air-cooled engine, but the way it just feels so relaxed at those speeds, it's absolutely incredible. So the way the TVS engineers have managed the refinement, the performance and the acceleration is just brilliant, and the Ntorq 150 is a proper fun and engaging scooter. And additionally, on the safety end, it also comes with a traction control system, which might be beneficial on wet roads and loose surfaces. But honestly, I never required its intervention. With great performance comes bad fuel efficiency. Normally that is true, but not in the case of the Ntorq 150. The scooter delivered 36 kilometers per liter despite riding it mostly in the city, which is very impressive. So you're looking at a range of 200 kilometers on a full tank. If I have to use a few words to describe the styling of the new Ntorq 150, then it would be sharp, edgy and striking. Let's start from the face of the scooter. The raked out apron with the 4 projector headlights is so unique, below which are the flanked LED DRLs and the indicators, which flow very well with the face of the scooter. The one element that I really liked is the exposed handlebar, which gives the scooter a raw appeal. There is also a small winglet, which I'm sure is more for aesthetics than aerodynamics. The tail section too carries forward the edgy design language with a twin boomerang LED taillight, which looks cool. In profile, the Ntorq design language is clearly visible. If the above wasn't enough, there are some really loud and flashy color combinations on offer, and the Ntorq 150 did grab a lot of attention wherever I went. Personally, I thought the 12-inch wheels might not go well with the overall design, but they somehow work. And in terms of aesthetics, TVS designers have nailed it. The variant we were testing came with the TFT screen, which is loaded with information and features. The layout of the console is very clean and the tachometer is a cool addition. You can switch through the various settings via a switch cube, the quality of which is the absolute best in the segment, and so is the overall quality of the scooter. You get details such as average speed, top speed, acceleration timings, traction control settings, ride modes, and service reminder. Via the app, you can access turn-by-turn navigation, music control, voice command, crash alert, and more. There is also a start-stop system. The intervention of the same can be controlled. You also have a top speed limiter. It is also the only scooter in the segment to get an adjustable lever, while the brake lock is useful. Okay, so let's do a ergonomic check of the new Ntorq 150. First up, the seat height. The seat height is pretty low at 770 mm. As you can see, I can easily flat foot. I am 5 feet 10 tall, weigh around 100 kg. So in terms of seat height, it is very approachable. The second thing is the riding posture. You get a nice and flat wide handlebar, almost looks like a handlebar of a motorcycle and now that of a scooter. And the riding posture is that of a typical scooter, very upright, very nice. The one aspect that I liked of the Ntorq 150 is even when you're taking a U-turn, my legs are not getting brushed against the handlebar, so you can take the U-turn sitting on the motorcycle easily. You don't have to put your leg down if you're on the taller side. The second thing is the weight of the scooter. It is pretty light at 115 kg, which means you can easily push this scooter around, and for this displacement the Ntorq 150 is pretty light compared to its rivals. Now let's talk about convenience. You get a small cubby hole over here which has a 2-liter capacity. You can keep some knickknacks over here. Sadly, there is no USB charger over here. The USB charger is here underneath the seat, so I don't know how convenient is that. Talking about the under-seat storage, it is 22 liters, decent enough for a normal helmet, but yeah, in terms of space, it could have been better. The second thing I didn't like is there is no under-seat light over here, so maybe in the night when you want to remove some stuff, TVS should have offered that. So yeah, given the kind of purpose, the convenience aspect is decent. It's not the best out there, but yeah, again, the other 150cc scooters have a spine. The Ntorq 150 doesn't have that, so you have some space over here to keep some knickknacks or a small bag also, which you can't do on the Zoom 160 or the Aerox 155. So by now we have established that the Ntorq 150 is a fast and fun motorcycle in a straight line. But you know what, a lot of other scooters also do that. What made the Ntorq so special was its handling dynamics, because it felt so nimble, agile, and so easy to steer. Gladly, the Ntorq 150 also carries forward the same DNA that we had seen on the Ntorq 125. It likes to corner fast. The 12-inch wheels makes it very nimble and agile when you're going through traffic. Cutting through traffic is very easy on this scooter. And in terms of fast cornering too, the Ntorq 150 is very stable. It engages you, gives you a lot of confidence. Yes, the tires are not 14-inch wheels or not very wide, but for this scooter, for the chassis that you have over here, the Ntorq 150 does a good job. The other aspect that is very impressive is the ride quality of the scooter. Yes, the front end felt a bit stiff compared to the rear, but when you compare to the scooters in this segment, the Ntorq 150 clearly has the best ride quality, and which adds to the element of comfort. So while being sporty, it is offering you a comfortable ride quality. Now coming to the brakes do a good job. From the lever, you get nice feedback, but the bite could have been better. I think the only reason I am kind of pinpointing that is because of the performance of the scooter. The Ntorq 150 has a very peppy and snappy acceleration, so you want to shed those speeds quicker. So maybe slightly sharper brake would have been better. You get single channel ABS, which does a good job. At the rear, you still have a drum brake. Maybe in the future, we could see rear disc brake also, because the government is planning to mandate dual channel ABS. But overall, in terms of dynamics, it has the proper Ntorq DNA, which is fun, fast, and engaging. So at the beginning of this video, I had mentioned that the Ntorq 150 doesn't get liquid cooling and gets a 12-inch wheel compared to a 14-inch wheel as seen on its rival. And the simple answer to that is cost cutting, because the pricing of the scooter, the base variant is priced at 1,09,000. The top end variant, the TFT screen variant, is priced at 1,18,000. So as you can see, it has a clear cost advantage over its rivals. And I think that TVS has been very clever with it. Among these two variants, my pick would be to go for the base variant. Unless until you are a tech geek who wants all the connected features, because the base variant offers you all the performance that you want, and with that extra money that you have saved, you can invest in riding gear. Now time for verdict, and I'll keep it short and sweet. The Ntorq 150 is a brilliant scooter. The performance is exciting, the handling is fun, it is comfortable. The overall package for a proper fast city scooter, the Ntorq 150 delivers. No wonder then that this scooter is the Acko Drive bike of the year. In terms of negatives, I can think of is the engine is an all-new engine, so we don't know how reliable it is over a long period of time. That is something we will only understand after certain years of riding this scooter. The second aspect is the service of TVS is not the best out there. We have heard a lot of complaints. So you have to take that decision based on the ratings for the service center in your area. Having said that, you want a fast, fun, and comfortable scooter at a great price point, the Ntorq 150 is absolutely brilliant. And if you are an existing Ntorq 125 owner, the Ntorq 150 is a good step up in terms of performance, in terms of fun, and in terms of a good price point. So yeah, with the Ntorq 150, TVS has killed it.